Yes, congratulations, Manchester City, but this is the Premier League that just keeps on giving. What a script that was today. Those supporters had their hands nowhere near the trophy with 15 minutes of that game to go. That was a dramatic 5 minutes and 36 seconds in Manchester City's history. That's when they got the 3 goals. Rodri there got 1 of them, Gundogan got 2 of them, and that's why they finished on 93 points, 1 ahead of Liverpool. And as Joe was saying, for the 4th time in 5 seasons, they are Premier League title winners. 6 Premier League title wins now for Manchester City. Only Manchester United have more. And when City are down 2-1 on the final season, Nigel, you know what happens, you win 3-2.
I mean, it's just serious giving me 2012 vibes. If I just see how we won it again, and that's the beautiful thing about football. It always, involves in kind of a dramatic way. But obvious, I would love to have seen it come to an end a little bit early in the game. But 2-0 down, it didn't look that we had a sniff at goal as well, and just looking to get our hands on this trophy. But once again, the resilience was shown. We were always up to score goals as well, and what a way to do it. I mean, it's a similar situation that we've seen in 2012. So 10 years after that moment, it repeats itself in a way.
Goodness me. And Liverpool, we thought, weren't going to score a second. They did, but to no avail in the end, Michael. In the end, after all that roller coaster, they've both won.
Steve, as you rightly say, I mean, should we be surprised at this? The Premier League has just gave us so many great moments this season. And I genuinely sat here, I didn't want to say anything, but I genuinely sat here thinking, if Liverpool can score, if they can win, the league championship is theirs. However, I shouldn't have wrote Manchester City off. 3 goals in 5.5 minutes. Absolutely unbelievable. And they are one of very, very few teams that can do that. What an end to the season. What champions. I mean, Liverpool can hold their heads up high. The Manchester City there have just been sensational.
We talk, and Jurgen Klopp talks about Liverpool being mentality monsters, but for City, at 75 minutes, to be 2-0 down and produce 3 goals in less than 6 minutes to effectively win the league, I mean, that is unbelievable character, Nigel.
It is a great achievement, and it's a great character. We're talking about Liverpool's resilience, but they have the resilience 15 minutes before time, knowing that you have to score 3 goals at least to win the game. Says something about the character of this team. Obviously, the changes helped as well for Guardiola and his team, then, going forward and scoring the goals. But I mean, it shows character, it shows resilience, it shows that there's belief and hope still, in winning that game, because they knew Liverpool will win the game eventually at Anfield. But they had to score 3 goals, and in the fashion there, how they did it, I mean, it's unbelievable. And I understand the emotions. I understand the roller coaster of emotions that we've seen as well in the Etihad. But I'm just happy that everybody's safe back in the dressing room, so we can continue the celebrations normally when everybody comes off. But this is amazing for the city, amazing for the organisation.
And that was typical of City, the way that day and that script went, wasn't it? They don't do anything the easy way, Nigel.
No, we like to do things the hard way, not the easy way, and especially when it comes down to the final day of the season. I mean, what a win was it? I said it before, it really gave me the goosebumps of what I had in 2012, 10 years later. So I just think it was meant to be. We had to go down the final day like that. Apart from that, they were quite flat, I have to say. The way how City plays from the first half on to the last 15 minutes of the game, they were quite flat. Never really came into their motion, really came into their game. And Villa just created the chances, and they took the chances as well. So it never looked that we were winning the game, but 50 minutes on, never writes City off.
What were you thinking at 2-0 Villa? Steven Gerrard's immortal status was going through the roof at Anfield.
Yeah, and I must admit, I was watching Manchester City, and when you get a sense that something happened, that you feel a bit of momentum building, I was not getting that at all. I was thinking Villa are containing them. It was only when Gundogan came on, and as soon as they scored the first one, that was it. Confidence comes flooding back, the belief around the stadium, and then all of a sudden, before you can blink, they've scored 3 goals in a few minutes. It was quite incredible. It wasn't their best performance by a long shot, but wow, have they got gears. Once they step up a gear, once they get that bit between their teeth, they're virtually unstoppable. And, I mean, it's been the most incredible season, incredible performances by them. To get into the 90 points on what we seem to be a consistent basis is quite stunning and staggering. And Pep Guardiola obviously needs a lot of credit. But it didn't feel like that for a long, long way. Manchester City fans will sleep well tonight.
And substitutes play a big part, as you did, of course, in that famous season. And İlkay Gundogan, to come on in the 68th minute and have an impact as a midfield player like that.
I mean, that's what you want to see from your substitutes. If you substitute a player as a coach, you want him to make an impact, otherwise you don't change him. And he did straight away. I mean, he's one of the players that's been there the longest under Guardiola's spell. So he has the experience also knowing what it takes to win a Premier League. And of course, in the fashion he did it is second to none. You know, the way how he came in the box and always be there. You know, when the ball comes off a cross, we know that about him. He scored plenty of goals like that. But to do that in a space of 5.5 minutes, yeah, it's unbelievable. And if somebody had to be a hero, it had to be him. He's one of the nicest blokes you will see out there. He's a great character also for the dressing room. You know, he's not really talkative, but always gives it all. So he's one of those unsung heroes, you know, in that City team. So if somebody had to do it, it was him. And congratulations to him and the City organization. I'm very relieved. I can be as calm now as Maka the other side at Liverpool. I wasn't like that. I have to be very honest. I was really tense and stressed. But I can sit back, relax, and have a glass of wine later on.